Okay, so I forgot to go over lucky shots, so let's do that real quick here. So when you're doing lucky shot, basically you want to be set for equipment, and you want the Warmonger scroll to show up for you. So you have to refresh. For me, I want this Dragon Essence, but that's used for upgrading your Deathseeker. But until you have all orange gear, you're going to want to just keep refreshing until you get the Warmonger here, which is going to be the blue scroll. And then also do try to be cognizant of what your other options are, because this is generally going to happen by your fourth shot. Sometime it might be your fifth. Sometimes you might get it on your first, but generally think you're going to get 2 or 3 shots. So on this, I'm most likely going to end up getting this 125 minutes speedos for forging, and I'm probably also going to get this 240 animal hide. So what I like to do is make sure basically whatever this animal hide is, it's going to be different when I do it next. So once I got this Warmonger scroll, then I would do the same thing. I would refresh. It does seem to take a little more refreshes until it shows up now. Oops. So now I would be getting pine instead of the animal hide, and I'll most likely end up getting the 16 minutes as well, and then you'll probably get one of these in the middle, but it's kind of harder to predict what you'll get there. So usually I just kind of focus on making sure whatever this pine option is going to change, just so that way you're not getting so much of one thing that you're not going to use. And if you know what you're going to forge ahead of time, you can always check in your blacksmith. So like if, for example, I wanted to forge the orange sword here, you can scroll down and I would see, okay, I know I need, I think it's Sessulite or Stressulite, whatever it is, and pine. So I would try and get these to show up as my options. And then once you get the scroll, it'll show up here in special. It'd be down here. It's the same kind of concept as the Deathseeker. Just these would be Warmonger instead of Deathseeker. You would want to pick either the chest or the sword. Doesn't matter which one, because you're not actually going to craft it. You just want the scroll. And then you would come to the Alchemist corner. You go to the Crucible here in the top. And then the scroll would show up here. You just pick it, select it, and then you hit transform. And that'll get you some of these equipment points. And then you would pick whatever orange gear that you wanted. All the combat gear is here, so these should be your first focus for your main account. Same kind of thing. It doesn't really matter too much which order you do these in. For the most part, you're going to kind of want to do it based off of what your gear currently is. If you have blue or green gear, you're going to want to try and upgrade that before, you would want to upgrade purple gear. But ultimately, your goal is going to get all orange. And this is not that difficult to do, as long as you spend, at least $1 so that you unlock that lucky shot. And then on your wishes, you're going to want to wish for steel, and then you're going to use the Spire Loot, sorry. You use the trials to get the Merlin Trials here to get material you might need, or you can ask us any of the R4s or R5s in the Alliance if you need to stock anything with spear coins instead. Doesn't really matter which one you choose. For the most part, I like Merlin for things like the diamond or the amethyst, and it looks like we don't have any sapphire, so I'll go put some of that up. Just while I'm looking at it. Where the amethyst here. It's just kind of, whatever you have more coins in, that's where you want to go to. I like getting the common materials from here and the rare materials from Merlin, but it doesn't really matter where you get from as long as you get them. And once you have all orange gear, probably the next thing you're going to want to work onto is getting basically the rest of the orange gear. Pretty much all orange gear is good. Some is better than others, obviously. So after you get your combat gear, I would recommend getting the champion's armor here, because this is going to give you a 45% boost to whatever gathering. Iron most likely is your biggest need, but the silver is really nice as well once you get to higher level. And then obviously the troop loads that you're just carrying more, which is helpful when you're going to the Alliance Mine. And then there's the amulet, which is not as good, only 15% compared to the 45, but also, as you can see, this is only 3,700 points to the 1,100, so you can kind of get this quicker. These boots will... this has the extra trading capacity and also has your construction and research speed. The research speed is more so nice, especially if you bought the Israel set or the Werewolf set. You're never going to use the construction speed because, well, not never. I'll use it like when I'm doing mines and things like that because they don't cost a lot of resources, so I don't need the full set. But whenever I do research, I have all my wisdom gems socketed in here, so it'll save you some time on research. The helm here is the same thing. It's going to help you on research construction. This also has a really nice, it lowers the tax that you pay when you need to transfer resources. So the person you're sending it to gets less, and when we're conquered like we are now, they get a little less resources. And I kind of talked about the Bow of Tristan before, and the looks like the ring is not here because this, I believe, or is it? Yeah, this is that ring. So these will help whenever you collect your own. Where are the other oranges? This one, I wouldn't recommend building. This has city army defense, so it is nice when you get attacked. But if you're not getting attacked, this stat is basically useless. This should be healing costs. So this is really nice whenever you get attacked, or if you do attacking once you get your wounded conversion up high enough. Just because it saves you some resources. Likewise, this one here is healing speed, so you get to heal faster. This is no different than the sword. They're the exact same stats, so it's just which one you think is prettier. This one you don't really need. Training capacity is not that important. Hospital capacity, it would be nice if this was like a passive effect that you didn't have to equip, but since you have to have it equipped, there's always something better to have here. And the Ring of Dispel has training cost as well as healing speed. The training cost especially is really nice, so whenever you build troops, you put this on. And I think that's all of the oranges. So basically all the oranges except for this one, and which one was it? This one. Have a really good use. But the gather speed is definitely the ones you want to do after your combat gear. Or if it's a farm, then you only care about really this, and to a lesser extent these two. But really, gathering is so much more efficient than what you can collect. But maybe you don't want to build troops on, or maybe you don't want to pop on your account. Then these might be a little more important. That was a way too long going over the Crucible and gear here. Yeah,